What's up, gang? Lock in here because we're at a 4-hour support here that we just held, and the 1 hour has faked out here. I'm gonna have a buy limit here at 45.22. Wait, 4-hour level. I'm sorry, 45.20. Was that it? 23.5. That might have been it. I don't think we got there yet. Yeah, 45.23.5 is the buy. That might have been it, gang. You know what? I'm gonna take a buy right here. Oh, that almost got to the flip. Yeah, so I just took a buy a little bit before it flew, right as we flipped, because I was pressing buy, and right as I clicked it, it just kind of jumped up. I'm gonna leave my buy limit just in case, right below the current wick right here. So we're activated here, right here. I'm gonna leave a buy limit right below wick. I think we get to the 4-hour level here. If we pump up here, that'll be great from here. Okay, move stops to break even here, gang. I don't want this to come back down. Up about 18 pips there. Stops to break even. Let's get rid of that limit that's underneath. Let's see if we can pump up a little. If we re-break the low, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think from here, it's a possibility we re-break the low. We're up 30 pips. Let's see if it can pump up. Build a wick here to the left. Sell limit. I have a partial at 31 at around 60 pips. I think we might be re-breaking the low because of the level we just tapped. That's a possibility here to come back down. Re-break the bottom wick. I only saw about 38 pips. I was looking for around 60 here. Looking to fill this wick, this area to the left here. So stops are to break even. What the fuck is going on? We don't want this candle to reflip bearish. We didn't have the best entry at this tip of the wick, but we do not want this candle to reflip bearish. We just want to pump up here. It would make sense off the 4-hour level here. If we re-break the low after making a top wick, I cannot take a bottom wick entry. So we really want to pump straight up. We don't want to come back up. A bit late there, man. It got to 6. Buy limit was supposed to be at 5. Yeah, there. Come back down. Still in there? Oh, there we go. We're out. How much did that give us total? I gave the total move here was 62. Oh, I get it. All right, I get it. So we just tapped that 4-hour level on the rebreak, right? 23.7. I don't think it really rebroke fully. Share your screen. What's on Zoom? Get off mute. Let them know. There you are. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so YouTube hears me. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, that was only in the Zoom. Called me? Oh yeah, you did call me. I'm sorry. I don't pay attention to nothing when I'm trading. Yeah, I saw it. So we were on the Zoom. The Zoom gang saw this play out. So we saw we didn't see much. We saw about, wow, 43 pips. We probably would have secured if we got bottom wick entry there. The issue is, it didn't quite get to our level. You see the 4-hour level across here? Right there, 43.25. I said it was going to be entry. There. It just got there, but initially as we opened up, wait, what? Yeah, initially as we opened up, let me go. You see that wick right there? That was where we were looking for entry right there. Yeah, that wick was, we were supposed to enter and it missed us. It came up here, we got in a bit late up here, and back down. So all good, but we might hold here and we'll reattempt this later on. now it's coming back up. Yeah, the whole idea was we held the 4-hour level here to the left. We broke below it, and the hourly closed back up above and faked out. So I was looking at a buy limit right off this level. Unfortunately, it didn't quite get there. It came up, and now it tapped it. And we can't take it now because this top wick exists. So as it's coming down after that top wick, there's a possibility we close below. There's a nice level I want to head down to over here, which we still might get to at 45.13.4. But as it's coming down and doing that, that's now what I expect instead of riding up filling the wick. So we'll see. All right, welcome. Welcome to the Asian session. All right, let's look at it. Daily bullish. Ooh, bottom wick here on the daily, right to the daily support. Didn't quite get there, right? 18.2 is the daily support. Got to 19, but well, basically it. Bottom wick made. Quite possible. I believe we make a steeper bottom wick based on the levels we need to tap. And I think we eventually get down to 44.90 because if we look to the left, look where this drive started from. 44.90. Look where this closure is. I think we get that wick again. That's one of our pancake plays. And we get up there. That's pancake V1, the very first version of the pancakes. And then that wick to that closure where a wick came from. We have precedent for it. We faked out. So the bottom wick to there would have made sense on the daily. So we'll see. I still think we come further down. Unfortunately, the way it's printed, there's no edge for us now. It took away our edge. And when I say edge means not just winning a trade, but where, for me, edge is where I get a freebie. I have an edge to enter where I know I'll get to go break even at a certain level, even if I'm not securing there. So that will have no risk on the table, right? And right now, even though there's a direction, but I just don't have an edge in terms of risk management and not losing. A lot of room to go here. And like I said, I would not mind, right? I wouldn't mind a closure below here now. Like no impulse move for sure. But we get that closure below here. Yeah, it's a little 45.20 flat. We get closure below 45.19.9, 45.20 flat. I'll look to execute on the sells to get down to at least 45.15, 45.10 areas. Yeah, I was in the middle of eating, and you know what happened? My daughter called me. She's like, "Dad, you might have a trade." The oldest one, the teenager. She was sitting by the computer. She's like, "Dad," she's looking at what's going, like, she's looking at all my screens. She's like, "You might have a trade." I ran. I was like, "You're right. I might have a trade here." That was pretty dope. That's one of those, like, really moments. Yeah, so I'm not even done with my food. My food's over there. Daughter indicator. Wix 9.1. Coming through in the clutch. Come through in the clutch. We got 6 minutes here for closure. Free indicator. Nah, you know how much that costs? You would never pay that much for an indicator. Well, maybe, unless Alex G or Lambo Raul are selling it, but like, you would never pay that much for an indicator. If they just gave you the full price without the monthly payments, you would never pay that shit. Be like, fuck out of here. I survive without an indicator, bro. Just gonna buy me an Asian kid. Hey, you do math? Come here. You play any game like your computer case? This, bro, that's not a computer case. That's a lizard tank. I keep my lizard in there. Come here. I think he needs some water. Looks like a case. But no. I don't play any video games. Nothing. I haven't played a video game in a long time. But everyone that comes through here is like, damn. Like my kids' friends come through here and they're like, damn, your dad must be a gamer, like crazy game. What kind of games you got? Nothing. Hello, fix YouTube screen. I can't tell if Sia likes me or not. Sia's like partially on board. Like, Farida in the Zooms. They may take our lives, but they will never take our Farida. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Loosenize your pants. Well, there's our play playing out. Got to wait here. Now, because of this trickle down, right? Really, this entire chop here sucks for buys. But once we fill this range, we can start making our decision whether we're down or up. But like we're gonna need to come back up to 45, 32 at the very least. Either above it for buys, something buys above there, and continue on with the daily candle for the wick fill up here, right? Because remember I said wicks are ranges on a smaller time frame. So if you look at the daily, we got a wick. But if we look at the hourly, right? If we look at the 15 here, we can tell that that wick is clearly a separate range on a smaller time frame, and we're gonna need a closure above there to start filling that wick, or we're gonna hold resistance here and come back down, make a steeper bottom. We'll see. Right now, there's no trade through this chop. This chop is ass. Okay, so no bueno, nothing here at the moment. Good area. Good area. Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
If I was a prop firm, bro, my fine print would be unreadable. I'd be like, can't you see right there that if you make over $10 this month, we get to keep 99.9% of it right there. It says it in the fine print right there, bro. Like, there's nothing there. That's a line. I'd be like, yeah, it looks like a line, but if you grab a fucking fucking Weber telescope and send this bitch out into space and then use that telescope to zoom in on that fucking rocket, you'll be able to read that fucking fine print. Trust me. James Webb telescope. Yeah, I would have the wildest fine print. Show feet to get a payout. Send in proof of your feet. Anyway, gang, welcome to today's session. This is what we're looking for. Let's hang out. Let's wait and be patient. And I'll be right back in a second. This is in the Zooms here. We don't got any possible hosts. You guys remember this, right? You see why how we're having these massive moves, big moves. Remember, we just switched contracts, and I told you, you'll slowly see the volume die out in the old contract, and as the new one opens, you'll see volume pump in heavy as the new contract opens. So in the first few days of a contract, your moves are extra special. That's where you get really big moves, and that's where you get corrections like this. Perfect. Moving up. God damn it, that's our trade, man. The candle eventually looks like it's supposed to, but the way it played out there, bottom wick, right up, back down, bearish closure. Yeah. This one ugly chop to the left. Right above us. Clean as a whistle. another 40 minutes. Yeah, but then you have the rest of the evening. sorry, gang. I had to go take care of the dragon. Yeah. I had to go pet my dragon. Not even joking. Bro, you're hurting me. You're hurting me. That's my dragon. It's my bearded dragon, gang. We're trying to compete with Geico. We're going to save you 20% on car insurance. Got him big. Remember when he used to, he fit. Yeah, he got big as hell. He used to fit on just like a palm of my hand like this. Now he's so freaking, he's going to be bigger than Benny. Freaking cool. Look, he's got this beard. Yo, stop trying to run, bro. Stop trying to run. Grab him, hold him, because he's gonna try to hold him by his stomach. He's gonna run all. He can't be pressing hey, no pressing buttons on mine. Hold him, put him next to your chest, please. If he runs on you, just hold his stomach. I don't want him peeing on me. He's why? Hold on. Okay. So, oh shit, people at the door, come in. People at the Zoom door, welcome. What's going on, gang? So, remember when my cat died? Remember that story? A few months back? Not a few months back, but like half a year ago. I thought I was gonna bring out pictures, huh? Nah. So remember when that happened? My daughter was like, "I want a pet," the middle one, and I was like, "Fine, you can have a pet." And the Wix 9.2, she wanted a bird. She wanted a parrot. You know what it's like having a parrot in the house? You ever wake up early in the morning, angry as fuck at the birds outside, and try to shut the window or throw something at the birds so they all fly away from that tree? Can't sleep with a parrot in the house. And then guess what? Like the one she wanted, the speaking ones, like the cockatoos or whatever they are. Bro. I can't have that in the house because I'll be like, you know, I'll be having, I don't know. Imagine like my parents are over and all of a sudden the parrot's over there like, How much for the ounce? How much for the ounce? Be like, if you don't shut your ass up, bro, I'm gonna choke. Parrot be talking in your own fucking voice too. They know exactly which person in the family said that. So I was like, yo, I'm not having a parrot. I'm not having no bird. You can pick the next best thing. And she chose a bearded dragon. And that's how we ended up with a bearded dragon. Word, I'm about to have my fucking parrot speak Indian. No, my friend, so fuck you. Just game started? No, it didn't. I'm watching it right now. It's introductions. It's like you saying, you know what EU is doing and you only trade gold? What? Would you sub to the channel, Farzo? Please, come on. How are you a mod on Don Vo's stream, bro? How did Don make you a mod? You're definitely in here as a, and I know a whole bunch of you. I told Don, I was like, yo, I let my mods out of my view for a minute. And all of a sudden, they're invading other countries and shit, other streams. Every mod in here, I think, is a mod on multiple streams. It's so funny though. I'll let y'all explore your options for a minute. I'm only a mod here. Yeah, I know. I know. I was talking to Don. He's like, yeah, Jay's a member of my community. I was like, yeah, a whole bunch of them. They all came from the same fucking place. Everybody came from the same place. But I was making a joke of it. It's not like, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Don is the guy who blew other people's account, people investments, eh? That's what's crazy to me. Like, yeah, he's the guy, but like, it's crazy to me. Like, that's what he's known for. Like, he's done a lot for the industry. Don Vo has done done. He's done so much for the industry. Like I'm telling you, you can save the world 100 times over and fuck up once, and you're a villain. Right? I think what he's done for us, for a lot of the people in the community, far outweighs any loss a lot of us might have taken. So, you know, he's done a lot for the community. So it's tragic to me that that's what he's known for, or how he's known. Like, to me personally, because like I know the man, and like that is not like what he deserves to be known for, because he's put a lot of people in the right place and like on the right trajectory as well. Back to differ, I learned a lot more from. I'm not saying more or less. I'm just saying in general, he's done a lot for the industry. I'm not saying you learn more here, more there, or you know, or like somewhere else. I just believe he deserves more credit than he gets. This song sucks. Always and forever gonna say that. At the end of the day, man, finesse the whole bunch of, that's the thing. He made nothing of it. It wasn't a scam or a scheme. He fucked up. Like, it was, I literally spoke to him at that time. Like, went off the rails. Yeah, but nothing was intentional. And like I said it in the Discord earlier. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? there was nothing but good intentions behind it. Not a great result over there, but remove the song from your playlist. You always skip it anyway. I can't. It's just one list, one long track. All right, so we cleared that range we were talking, right? We would really want to drive through it, create some resistance, come back. See if we can get some more structure here. Look at that, it came back to that 4 hour. Can't take it because we've been here already. It's re-breaking that level multiple times. It's driven through it. I'm gonna touch it again. Mod trading. What do you think? What? Bro, don't be snitching on people. Bar zone 9. Just different people get through to different people differently, right? So real handful of people here for like 5-6 years now. Yeah, 2021. People have completed college since I've been around. Bro, people have gotten married, gotten divorced, gotten married again, and had kids all in those 5 years. When I met Don, he wasn't allowed to drink and he had no license. And he never drove a car. Zero to 100 real quick. Became a father during those 5 years. Yeah. Like it's almost a different life. You say a lifetime ago. It's a different epoch of your life now. Wix, I can't stay with one girl. Any advice? Sounds like you're gay. I'm kidding. Just fucking jokes. Stay with it, man. Who's the real owner of that there's no fucking milk story? You or Don? Me. He called me. He called me when he, but like I don't. He called me when he was filming and told me he was gonna use it. I was like, dope, do it. It's gonna be so dope. And I was like, yo, you should have the girl do this or like I don't know. He called me. I don't remember exactly how it went. he told me like, yo, we're gonna do a scene and I want to use your, because that joke came from it. You go on my Instagram, one of the very first stories or reels on my IG, like back in the day, probably like 22, maybe 23. We did a podcast on Marcos was doing some podcasts and it was on his. The whole he took it down, but the whole episode is so dope. It's pretty funny, but it was cool. It was like, I know he got a lot of credit for it, but like it was cool. He called me. I called him afterwards after he posted. I was like, "Man, you said it wrong." He was like, "How?" I was like, "Cause I don't remember exactly what he said, but I called him. I was like, "Fuck, you fucked it up, man." Urgh. It was still funny, but he kind of. I was like, "You should have said this." Okay, see, but elucidate? Yeah, I'm with that. Where's the quiche? But where do we start with that? Yeah, just a lot of people over here came from the same place. It's pretty cool. Like you guys have never met, but have literally communicated every day through the chat for the last half a decade. Find yourself secretly desiring more trades? No, but sometimes I find myself secretly desiring more money. I just need a small loan of $100 million. Where's your turban? Wouldn't be here where I'm at today if you didn't randomly call Wix to wake up from time to time. Tie your beard and your hair. Shave your back. Fix your banana-shaped back. Oh, this fucking thing has really done nothing great. I want to be out of this job. I don't want to trade here. All right. You expecting another monthly low being created before end of the month? Before the end of the month? No. I do not. No. I do see it re-breaking possibly next month if we're... Okay, here's the deal. You have levels in the way here. You got 44.50, 44.45, right? And before that break, 44.20. Shout out to all my weed heads for holding that level strong. But yeah, you have quite a few levels on the way, in the way. So it could break next month, but we might hold here based on the weekly, holding this support. So you might see another bottom wick here on the weekly and then, drive up. So another drive down on the next week probably creates that bottom wick for the month. And if we are to hold these areas, right, over here, right, if we're to hold here or here, right, and create that bottom wick, start coming up here, right? If we're to hold these areas next week, that's the bottom wick for the month. Is it to drive up? You have probably quite a bit of range to happen here, right? Because you're going to need to tap these areas, break that. So you're probably going to look this, right? To drive up, probably back down in range. Retest, maybe happens on one candle, maybe boom. But the weekly wise, I think this is what you're really looking for. And now you're going to have to see whether this holds or you break down. So there's a lot of choices that still have to be made in the market. But if it doesn't, then you might see this, and then you're off to the races for the rest of the month. You've had a heavy drive down. Remember I said you don't just switch directions on one candle. You're going to have to get off the exit, find a U-turn, get on the highway the other way, get on the on-ramp, and then start driving. This is that exit and U-turn and entry. Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Now, can I be wrong? No. So that's what's gonna happen. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I can obviously be wrong. So, like, you take that with a grain of salt, but you also take into consideration and value my knowledge based on the experience that I have. That's it. Wicks, ain't gonna lie, I'm not paying attention to charts right now. There's 160 people in here. Ain't gonna lie.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Bars of this out of pocket on downstream. I'm about to. Oh, wait. How many soundboards do you have?
What a stupid question that is.
Like pages and pages. And pages. He's in line there? All right, yeah. I'm gonna need you to fall in line, Farza. Why the not 200 people? I don't know where the standard 200 are. They're late. We're bleeding viewers. It's crazy to me because There's nobody running shit up like that. It's crazy. We had a couple of questionable days in the last one. I was like, damn, is that really Wicks taking those positions? Like, it's tough losses right there, but like made up in the next 24 hours. Wicks, tell me something. Why does traders charge 2-3K courses? If they're making figures, it's crazy. They don't believe giving back to the community. Okay, let's say tomorrow Richard Mill is like, nah, fuck this 300 grand. From now on, you could buy a Richard Millie for 5 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is. Why would we devalue what we do? Believe me, profitable traders are not making money off your, I mean, like, they're not making their living off their subscription. You are a source of income. You're another revenue stream. But man, we are not living because the subscribers are there. Now, there are people that are living off of that, and they'll probably charge you stupid amounts of money without doing anything and you can tell if you do your due diligence, right? And you can tell that most of the traders that you trust are going to be within the, like, you know, for like a private, something private, probably within 5 grand. If you're really making money, you're going to be within that, like, 3 to 5 grand for private range, right? And one-on-ones and all that, because, like, it's time, and you value yourself, right? And you're gonna probably be somewhere within the 100 to 500 in terms of signals, but there's people charging 10, 15, 20, like even 8, 9 racks. Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to charge. But you do it because you don't want to devalue what you do. Why would I? Like, I already charge very little in terms of my signals, but imagine if I charge like $50. Like, that's, bro. First of all, I would be upset at myself. Be like, what? Like, just do it for free then. Like, it's not. It's got to be worth your time. Got to be worth the effort, and you have to know your audience where you could be beneficial for them. Because I know I don't want to price myself out of your range because I'm trying to help you. I'm not living off of you, but I don't want to devalue what I do, right? So, and that's the mindset for them. But, like, you're going to see people charging 10, 15, 20 grand without ever having real, you know, social proof and longevity. Because you can have social proof of a week. You can run up an account to a, you know, 1 million, 10 million in the span of 4 months, 5 months. Show me the last decade. Like, you got to do your due diligence. It's 2026. There's a lot of info out there. You can literally see who trades, who doesn't. But, like, a lot of it is, like, not just finding the right mentor. You got to find the right mentor for you that matches you, that, like, you vibe with, you understand. You're, like, you know, you're in their, you know, sphere of understanding. But it's like, I'm not talking about personally, but, like, there's valuing yourself, and then there's just being absurd about it. But imagine tomorrow, like, Louis starts selling at like $20-50, or in a Kohl's, like Louis V starts selling their items in, like, Burlington or Nordstrom. Like, what's the value of the brand? They're gonna devalue their brand. They'd rather burn their shit than give it to you for cheap. It's branding. I can't speak on them. I've never been part of those traders community. I don't know what it's like. I know some communities go above and beyond. Some communities just go above and beyond in marketing and advertising and just sucking you dry and bleeding for money. But I think in terms of value, in terms of value, you probably want to be there. Like, if you're learning from somebody, you don't want to be there for a course. You don't want to be there for a boot camp. Like, who would you rather learn, like, telecommunications or business management from? Like, would you rather learn it from your business teacher or communications teacher, or would you rather learn it from like a Steve Jobs or an Elon Musk? Right? Who would you rather like follow, right? So yeah, people can teach you whatever, but I think in reality, you have to see how they perform under pressure. Like, people can know their shit, right? People could talk about it. None of that matters. It's the application of that knowledge. Like, I can't listen to someone, right? I can't listen to someone when they weren't in the trenches with me. Imagine you're at war, you're in the trench. All of a sudden, some new general pulls up. He's like, "All right, man, I need you here." I'm like, shut the fuck up! You just got here, bro. We've been getting shot at for 15 days. Get a weapon, shoot back. Okay. No, like, I have a hard time listening. Not, you know, I got to be in the trenches with the people to really know if I fuck with him or not. Nice closure. Resistance broke that previous high, the 1 hour. Man, this sell looks amazing, but how much room we got here? That's nothing. That's 20 pips. Maybe right up higher. We're gonna need some closures. 9 o'clock hour here, top wick. Still in this chop. Let's see if we can get some closures. I don't like that the hourly doesn't have a bottom wick. Makes me think we can come back down. Is OKC cooked? I hope they are. The problem is, I don't think the Spurs can win in OKC. That's the problem. Fake out here. Man, breaking that 4 hour low. This held. Don't want to sell into this 4 hour support, but we could really come down here. What's the stop? All right, it broke that low, right? It made that bottom wick. Perfect. 88. Right, it made the bottom wick. It pulled back up. A rebreak of that wick take us down. How much room we got here? 70 pips. All right, gang. Lock in here. I'm going to take the re-break of this low for a sell, and I'm going to keep a current stop here. About 80 pip stop. If we re-break the low again, I'll take it. All right, so I'm going to sell there. Rebroke the low. I'm going to see if we can come down here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stops to break even here, gang. We got to run. Let's see if we run or if we come back up. Ah! That motherfucker took me out. Fuck. Good attempt, though. Good attempt. I don't care if it comes back down because it came down to support. I gotta go break even here at this support. We don't know. This is a 4-hour level. Remember, we spoke about this thing running across here, the 4-hour level. We wanted to run through. So once again, one of those free attempts, right? We have the wick created for the previous candle. We have, and the previous is bullish. So yeah, we hit BE there. The trade was the sell on the flip here. It wasn't the flip. We came down, we flipped, we let it come down and see if it's going to reject. It came down, rejected, and then rebroke that low. So I saw about 35 pips, honestly, but it was so quick. It was boom, boom. So as we tap this area, this support here, the 4-hour support, I go break even because I know this is the retest of the low. And if we're going to drive, that decision will be made here. If we're going to drive up or down. So if it comes up against me, I'm not letting it drive up against me. It was fast, yeah, but you got to be fast here. It's going to trap buyers before it plays out. I don't know what it's going to do. I just know my edge is on that move and let it rock to see if it breaks through and we could secure. I would have secured here a little bit lower. So I was looking for this area right here, 45.20 flat. Fucking neck hurts. Where I slept yesterday, it's hard for me to turn all the way around. But if we close above the most recent, then we have the top of the range, right? We've attempted to come down here. We failed. We've closed above the most recent. We should have some clean range to move up. Ah! You agree that with the smile you should go break even fast? No. No. You haven't been here long enough. The market's like that right now because the levels we're tapping and the big ranges, and the volume comes in at different times throughout different cycles throughout the year, right? And no. You'll see me go break even a lot because, well, you won't see me go break even fast a lot, but you have been because I'm doing a lot of things. I don't want to say I'm doing a lot. I'm optimizing as I go, right? I'm growing every day. So people that have been in the signal channel for a while, they've seen the growth, the change. Like if you've been here for at least a year, you've seen me like change up things and do what you're not expecting because it's just me growing. It's just me not trying things differently. It's just what I see, what works, and as over time I optimize and build on it. And you're in this current stage where I see positions that I normally wouldn't have taken, but I see opportunity there because if it just goes, I know it's going to be a risk-free trade, but if it just goes, then great. If not, it's a free position. A B? Yes, sells B. I think like half a year back, I said we might be seeing a lot more break-evens with what we're trading, but we'll see a lot more profits too. And look at that. It did exactly what we expect, right? It tapped the 4-hour level, and there's a reaction there. So we expect the reaction. Do we know it's going to reject? No, but we know at that moment there's a possibility, right? And we're going to avoid that, and we're going to go risk-free and not let it come up against it. Wemby cold as fuck. I believe in them. I believe that they can win at home. I don't think it can be done on the road. OKC looks mean, but like I said, I'm a Knicks fan, so I'd rather see Wemby in the finals. I had a different mindset before, but right now I think I'd rather see Wemby than a fully healthy OKC team, who right now is playing 2-man down. Jalen Williams not playing, who's going to be healthy for the finals, right? He had somebody else, I forgot who. Was it Hartenstein? Yeah, matchup wise, I just think the Spurs can take OKC, the Knicks can't, but I think the Knicks can take the Spurs. You know how cool that would be? Oh, there it is. We're moving back up. You know how cool it would be? The last time the Knicks were in the finals in 1999, they lost to the Spurs. You know how cool it would be 27 years later to make it back to the finals and play the Spurs and beat them and get some revenge. It would make for a storybook ending. Just the storybook season. It would cement Jalen Brunson as the greatest New York Knick of all time. There it is. Moving on up. The Daily's filling the wick. Sir. There's nothing impulsive we can do here. Right, this top wick broke this high here before coming back down. Then you came up here and rebroke that top wick into a resistance. So nothing much you can do here. Yo, I don't know what it is. I don't even want to talk about it. Honestly, I don't want to put it into existence. All right, be very careful at this level here. Be like, sell limit, and then pop. Because you're filling the daily wick. You can blast right through it. You can reject here, yeah, but you can blast right through it. It's a strong wick to fill. The candle. Look at that, Reggie. You know what I've also noticed? Another concept that actually, I don't even want to discuss it till we see it, because like something that I've been doing over the last few weeks, and I've noticed it's kind of working pretty well. So I don't want to just talk about something and we don't see it on the charts and it just gets forgotten about. So whenever I see it on the charts, I think we'll have a good discussion. I've been speaking things into existence on the charts in life too. You have no idea how much shit's been going on lately, where like a girl, my daughters, they're like, Dad, you got to explore this talent, because like literally, like, and it's honestly, it's almost on a daily now. That's something throughout the day. Like, I try to be careful, really be careful about what I say, because like it's been really eerie. Eerie is the word. I'm trying to get Eddie to be a millionaire before the end of the year. I wonder if he gives me credit when he makes that milli by the end. Oh, he's in here. He's in here. Look. I didn't even know he was here. W, what's up, bro? Yeah, I remember that conversation. I was gonna say, yeah, if you weren't in here, I was gonna be like, yo, gang, let's see if he becomes a millionaire by the end of the year. You gonna give me credit and 30%. Or is he gonna be like, nah, I got this shit on my own? Nah, you literally had to visit Mr. Fortune Teller. Let me look in my curry bowl to see what message. Whenever anyone asked where I learned, what's not, or what I said. What I see. Eddie, are you a mod on Don's stream? See chat. See chat. These guys got multiple fucking assignments throughout the day. Wait, hold on. The kids are yelling in the other room. Hold on. Hey, Jonathan in the building. Damn, yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Do AI prompts, mechanical engineering related. Sounds like fun. Yeah, I mean, it could be fun. Some people like making things. I don't like making things. I like using them after they're made. That's my thing. Not really into creating stuff. I'm into like making the best of it. Wherever we're driving, there's gonna have to be a resistance created and structure. You guys already all know that. And need some structure. We need a pullback. Oh, hold on. Let's mark some things up here too. We're way overextended here. Way overextended. We just drove up for 300 pips, 500 pips. No, I'm saying, what am I saying? 300, 200. 300. Check this 4 hour. Celery play on the 4 hour. Okay. 4 hours closing above the most recent. The hourly's at a target area. Perfect. Yeah, previous 15 closed with no top wick. Maybe we come back down in range. That's a possibility. We'll see. Looks like we're going to be waiting on the 4 hour close here. Well, right now it does. Quite a bit of chop here, and we're not in the clear yet. We've created some range on a smaller time frame, but look at this massive move we had down and this massive correction back into the range. We might chop it up here. Right, we might chop up between 55 and 25. That's a possibility. Let's see what kind of range it creates here, what kind of resistance, if it creates one. Could be interesting, right? The 15 closed, no top wick above the range. We just drove up, tapped the next resistance. And we might end up back in range for a fake out, which would hold the 30. Maybe we end up there on the hourly, right? Which would hold the hourly as well. Four hours a bit lower. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Because of how close we are to the 4 hour closure and that we just broke out close to the end, I am not so sure about direction here on the 4 hour. Good evening, bro. How long did it take you to be profitable? What part of yourself did you have to work on to be profitable? Very good question. The second part. Because how long it takes you to be profitable is irrelevant. The reason you're asking that is for comparison, because you want to know for yourself. It's irrelevant. Everyone has different, like, we come from different places, different perspectives, different relationships with money. We have different personalities, different experiences, and all of that is gonna come into play. All of that is gonna come into play to determine it, because that's what made you, and it's such an individualized activity that everyone is different. I'll tell you that profitability and consistency are two different things. I got consistent at winning 2 years in. I was profitable and made all of the money that I've lost while learning the first 2 years in my third year. But we know people that have been doing it for 17 years, man, and are still not profitable, right? So it's just different. And so it's irrelevant. It's how long, it shouldn't really be the question. The question for yourself is, how long is it gonna take you to become you? The eventual version of you. The version of yourself that you see at optimal performance. It doesn't matter how long it takes anyone else to be proud. The question is, how long does it take you to become you? Which is where we come into the second part, right, of your question. What part of yourself did you have to work on to become profitable? And that's the thing. You come in here thinking you just got to learn some things. But so many things here are extremely counterintuitive. They're so counterintuitive to the human condition, to what you're used to your logic outside of this sphere, right, outside of this niche. And not because they're wrong, they're counterintuitive because society has kind of taught people like the wrong way. What matters, what doesn't matter, what to look for, what to not to look for, what's good, what's bad. And you have to realize that it's not a part of yourself you have to work on. There are parts of yourself that you have to completely lose, destroy. So I would say you're not working on yourself. You have to be humble enough to let your old self go. You have to be humble enough to understand that what you're doing, what you were doing, isn't working, and you need to rebuild from scratch into something that works. You can't build upon a paper foundation. You need to, or no foundation. You have to completely tear everything down, build the foundation, right? But in order to tear everything down, you have to go through humbling experiences. You have to go through losses, because nothing's going to tell you to rebuild yourself. Because, right, people, like I said, people aren't stupid. It all comes together at the end. People aren't stupid. Like I said, Uncle Ted used to say, people are stupid. People aren't stupid. They're lazy. People are lazy, and you're too lazy to rebuild yourself of all your experience, what you've grown into for the last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You're too lazy to rebuild that into a profitable person, a profitable version of yourself. But yeah, you realize that's how you come to the realization that it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be by summertime. You're not going to be wealthy by New Year's. But that doesn't matter. Timing's not going to matter. You put yourself on the right trajectory, it will happen. It'll be inevitable. And it might happen for you. Might be one of those that it happens to in a year and a half, 2 years. You might be one of those that it happens to in 5 to 10 years. As long as you're on the right trajectory and you're growing every day, you will get there, and it's inevitable. But you have to go back to the starting line and take the right road. You can't just start building on nothing. You need a foundation, and then the foundation, you don't know what it is even yet. You don't even know what it is yet. How you say it? Poor Jay corrects me. And you don't even know what it is yet, that foundation. So you're gonna try. You have to break yourself down, be humbled enough that, and it helps to do this alone, because no one's gonna get in the way of you building a foundation or set you on the wrong path or what they need. Like you know, you get content with being by yourself. You work on yourself. That's when you see the most improvements, and that's how you get on the right path. No, people are like, oh, you left for a few months and you're a different person, but your ass is still broke. Yeah, but the point of me disappearing wasn't to get rich. Wait, hold on, gang. Okay, I'm gonna take a buy right here. Just took a buy on the bottom wick there. Let's see what we can do. Can we push up? Because we have a support here, and I'm just looking for this top wick here. Okay. We need to flip bullish, and I'll move stops to break even. We need a top wick here. Can this thing flip? I didn't see a flip on my trading view. Yeah, I got a bottom wick entry off this level based on how we closed and how we opened. We closed with no bottom wick, and we just opened with a bottom wick. So I'm expecting a top wick on this candle and small push up. Entry is 4533.8. Partials 4538.9, and then full TP will be the top of the range probably. So this is what we look like right now. 30 closed back into range. Sorry, I got entries right here. 33.8. Entries right there. Should have had a better entry. I don't know why I got that entry. Try to set it. Didn't forget. But yeah, once we flip, we're gonna go break even here. Partials are right here. Let me set this correctly. All right, we flip right there, gang. Didn't really create a top wick. It just, I need a top wick here. 4537.1. That's what I'm looking at least 4537 areas. That was a really small flip. Tiny. Once we re-break the current high, the current candle high, I will go break even. That's when we'll go break even. Once the current candle high gets rebroken. No bottom wick on the previous candle closure. We just bounced off a support area. We made a bottom wick. We have not really rebroken this high here yet. Made a small top wick, but not really a broken high. Sorry, gang. I'm looking away because I got to look at my terminal, which is on the other end of my PC. The fact that we have no bottom wick, the fact that we closed above the range here on the 30, the fact that the previous 15 doesn't have a bottom wick, and the fact that we just bounced off the support of the range that we just closed back into, lets me think we should be coming up to at least 39 areas. It just works perfectly here. Makes sense here. My stop isn't set here yet. It's probably going to be below over there. Probably below the wick there. Not too much. But I really would not expect it to get there. I expect this to come up and create a steeper top wick. Not seen a rebreak. Needed to re-break current high. It got there. It got to it. Push. Pump. Quick pump up. There we go. We re-broke the high. We should not come back down. We come back down, we're going to be wrong. So this should go straight to profits, to our partials, stops to break even. If it re-breaks the low, it'll take us out and come down further. We have a really good entry here. So stops to break even. Let's see if we can run up here for 50, and then the runner is the runner. Okay, this is our first step right here. This no wick. We got to push through it. Can we push through it? Push. One more push up. I have not secured anything yet. You guys can secure. We're up about 40 pips. 38, 30. Oh, let's come back now. So, yeah, the chance we don't get there, yes. But I would like to pump up here. I think there's a high likelihood we can get more partials. Another little pump up. Can we? Really close there at 45 pips. Break the high. Come on. It tapped my fucking thing on the dot. I'm gonna secure partials there, right there at 44 pips. Sorry, I wanted to do it. I had to move the partial TP because it got really close, and I just manually did it just in case it rejects. Oh! Fuck! Fuck! I messed up. I closed full. Fuck! Oh, man. Yo. Gang, I closed full. If you're in the signals, that was just a partial. My bad, gang. I know you guys saw full closure. That was... But that maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I just got a full closure here, and and it comes back down. Maybe that was a good thing. Hold on. Yeah, I closed full right at the top of the wick. I was like, fuck, because I meant to close partials. Yeah, baby. Good fucking closure, Wicks. Woo! I got pissed off for a second. I was like, damn, we're going to fill this whole thing right now. And I just closed at 45 pips. 44, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, that was a full closure. 44 pips, gang. I would have been pissed because it would have taken us out right now and come right back up. Oh, my neck hurts so bad from turning to the right. I slept on the couch last night. Don't ask me why. And my neck fucking killing me. I can't turn to the right. I'm like Zoolander. I can only turn left. Nice. This was a very easy buy. Like, this position could not have fell into our hands any better than this. Can we see a replay of how I got into it? Because I was in the middle of saying something. I don't even remember what I was saying. It would have been a good clip. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. We're going to take a bite here. Damn, I thought we would have to wait on the next 4 hour to get some dubs. Remember I said it's probably looking like a next 4 hour position. That was 20 minutes ago. Nice intro for the clip. Yeah. Closed half and B. Yeah. So if anyone understand the trade, remember we said what ranges are tradable, what's not tradable. Remember we discussed this here? Remember this? Oh, wait, this wasn't it. I'm sorry. This was it. Right there. Well, we said we can't trade in this chop. But once we're out of that chop right here, above 42.32, clean range to the left. We got a closure above the chop. Right there. See that 30? Closed above the chop, and it left us a wick to fill. We also see the 15. It closed here. It came back in range, closed with no bottom wick, indicating there's no more range to go further down. So the next candle should come up, but if the next candle makes a bottom wick, and we know it should come up, and we go to the 30, and we know we just closed above the range, and we see this level here, the previous resistance that used to act as a support, can now act as a support again. That's why we took that bottom wick entry. We would have had a better entry if I wasn't yapping and I noticed this sooner. We would have had a better entry. I was just yapping. We would have set a limit there because we would have expected this no bottom wick closure as we saw it coming down. We would have just set a limit buy here and would have been on our merry way from down here from another 10 15 pips better, but might not have hit stops here because I don't know if it rebroke the low there. Yeah, you see it never rebroke the low. If we got in there where we wanted to, if I had a buy limit, we go break even, that break even never gets tapped here, and then we're back up off to the races, really pushing it. See, so that getting that optimal entry, you know why price never gets there? Because if it gets back there, you're wrong. And the whole analysis is wrong. And it's very rare in this case for us to be wrong. Price never gets there. Not because we're right, but because of the amount of times we've seen this and we know what's going on. Price cannot get back down there without that top wick and a drive off resistance. It can, and like there's a wild chance in hell it does. Anything's a possibility. The probable, it's highly unlikely without that top wick. And we get these candle closures in our direction. No bottom wick, no range to go down. Massive top wick, massive range to go up. Range to fill. Good support we can act as that can act as a drive up, right? We can take buys off. Great stops here back in range. These were under 100 pips. And it just trade fell in our lap. Could not have been any better. Could not have been any easier in terms of breaking that down. My wish is that we would have, I would have seen this earlier before this candle closed. Because on that closure, like we know we're taking that buy from here, and it never got back there. So but great. Nope. Getting told to sleep on the couch again? No, this was that was my daughter. I had to tell her no because she asked me to buy a game. I like not because I don't want her to play. I don't want to like. We buy so much stuff so often that once in a while, just randomly for a random game, I'm like, no, like, you know, have some decency. Like, it's not, life doesn't work like that. Oh, let's just try this and that, and then because they'll forget about it in a minute. Like, you know, no. Why couch? So both the kids, I mean, both the younger ones fell asleep in our bed last night. Right, and I trade like through the evening, probably to like 2-3 a.m. Sometimes I fall asleep right here at my setup. Right, I'll be like this. Yeah, so I'll just I trade late, and then I came up there, and you know, I went up to the second floor, and my older one was doing her finals, her Spanish finals project till 3 a.m. So I was like, why is the light on in the kids' room? So I went in there, and then I checked the other two, and my oldest one was doing her project at 3 a.m. The other two were sleeping. We're not in their beds. They were not in their rooms. They went to sleep in our room. So I was like, I'm not gonna sleep in the kids' bed. I just kind of fell asleep with the dog downstairs. I wake up, he's licking me because I was sweating below the couch. He's licking me for the salt. You wake up to the sound of a Taco Bell? No, the Undertaker. It's funny how you thought that was a Taco Bell. You live in Rough. Yeah, I was gonna go sleep on the patio. The problem is they promised rain, so I was gonna go like patio on the roof, one of those. We all thought you had a fight with your wife. Maybe I did, and I'm just telling you this story as a cover. Who knows? But that's what happened. We all thought you had a fight. I mean, I don't know anyone that doesn't fight. Like it's a normal thing. You have disagreements. It just can't end up in a fucking, you know. I think some of the best things the kids can see is parents fighting and still loving each other. Just going through arguments and like, you know, and getting over them and talking through them and then loving each other, because like it's a lot for a kid to see. It's a big lesson. That you don't need to, fight doesn't mean bad person. Fight means disagreement, perspective. Not everybody sees things the same way. Right? The great thing about being an adult is we can disagree and remain friends. Kids are not there. Right? Kids are not there yet. So you have to set that example for them because it's a valuable lesson in life that if they disagree with people doesn't mean you have to completely forget them or hate them. You have to accept. You don't have to accept. You have to accept the fact that others have another opinion, might have other opinions. That's a fact. You don't have to accept what they say. You have to accept the fact that everyone else will have their own opinion. My father used to beat my mom when they had an argument. What you do, X? Well, I can't beat your mom. She's not here. So probably, what would I do? I'd probably beat your dad. That's another thing, man. I once saw somebody I really respect and really thought like he was just a cool dude. He was a cool dude and like hang out, chill, just a fun, like, I don't want to say friend, just a great person to know. And one time I seen him put his hands on his girl when I picked him up. Came to pick him up. And there are certain things that a man should never do. Like I said before, anybody can give you a reason. Anybody. Anybody can give you a reason. You just don't do it. Right? There's a reason to whoop a little kid's ass. There's a reason to push an old man down a flight of stairs. There's a reason fucking, floor it through a crowd. Anybody can give you a reason. Don't do it. And that put me in a really awkward situation, and like I had to cut that. Update on gold. Wait, did I add the buy to our record itself or no? I know the buy is there, but did I add it to our record? 75, 675. Nope. Wait, that was win number 676. Nobody caught that, huh? Your dad's 6'6". I'm sorry, bro. Sorry that that's some shit you have to go through. People acting a fool, putting hands on strangers. Session trades and record are now all good. Yeah, bro, if I ever miss, after the stream, I'll go through and make sure I didn't miss nothing that affected the record. It might just be chopping it up here. Let's look at the 4 hour. Went nowhere, printed side by side with this 4 hour. Right, so there's really no sense of direction. You might find a support here on the next 4 hour and then close up above, then you have a sense of direction for London. You might make a top wick here and come down for the celery play on the 4 hour, and now you have a sense of direction for London. But this next 4 hours should give it to you, not this one if it closes here, right? Because we could chop, like I said, we could chop it up here in this range, 50. What did I say the range was? 55, 25, 50. Right now it's between 51 and 23. But anywhere within this range, we could chop it up here and not go anywhere. on the next 4 hour. You really want the 4 hour to push out of this area. Right, you really want it to be above 40 or below 23. Then you'll have a sense of direction and you could really lock in that direction. 5 minutes here on this 4 hour. What's the score in the Spurs game? Perfect. 63-58. Oh, they just started the second half. 65-58. And you also asked me, like, oh, basically, you guys asked me, I forgot who it was. Your strategy is based on going early, go break even early. That you saw it. It re-broke that low that where we took the entry a few times. It came up, it broke the high actually. It flipped bullish, right? Which broke the high and came back down, came back up to that wick. No, we really needed a clean break. It wasn't like let's go break in. It could have came down. Not the point. Point is gotta be logical. Gotta make sense. Things acting a fool right now. But a good, solid, hard-earned W based on our knowledge, you know, on the concepts that we've built. Discord. Exclamation point Discord. Exclamation mark Discord. There we go. Okay, got it. Up in 20 seconds because I bought. Oh, I read that. You'll keep rising. We got to get out of this range. I don't think anything unless we get out of this range. Like I told you, direction wise, it's very hard to establish a sense of direction and buys like when you're chopping it up on the higher time frame here. Need closures outside the range. Hopefully. How do you differentiate between hunger and greed? Well, hunger wants dinner. Greed wants the whole restaurant. Right? Same thing in trading, right? In trading, when you're hungry, you're okay with the first resistance and you're partial, right? When you're greedy, you feel like the market owes it to you. You're not, it's not that you're okay with 20, market owes you more. When you approach it like it owes you, meanwhile, you're the sucker. Really, really simple. Are you okay with taking your 20 pips, 30 pips, 40 pips? Like, I look at the very first logical level that can bring me back the other way. And I say, I'm going to take partials there because I'm guaranteed this, right? Anything else is just a bonus. That's kind of how I've been approaching it. And I could say, nah, let me look for full TP here every time. Like it owes it to me. And really lose a lot of confidence by never getting or barely ever getting there. Right? So with greed, you'll have money you could have secured and you'll end up going break, or you finishing the trade at break even or in a loss. That top wick, probably a good time to sell. I won't be getting in a sell, but why? Because we know the 4 hour, right? It might be a good time to sell here, but I fucked around with the most immediate resistance on the 4 hour, right? Off the opening of the 4 hour, we have massive wicks here. So you could see this push up to that wick before coming down. I don't want to. Taking that wick entry off the 4 unless it's a support, right? So if this opened up bearish, came down here, I would have taken that wick entry. But here, this can push up through here for a top wick before we're coming back down. I don't bug around with that 4 hour opening at the most immediate resistance. Plus, something very similar is happening here that happened on the 30 like candle. We've seen this, man. We've seen it. It could come down to that flip, but it could probably give you a partial flip here and then. Oh. Reggie, bro. I think you got to be in here. No, don't. I'm sorry. Don't let me induce action. It's just in my head. I'm guessing that he was in already. That's got it. It's like that's his position. Did you check WAP DM about the email? Abby, yeah, I'm not the one that checks it, but I saw your message. I think you sent it somewhere else as well. I think you sent it on Discord. So, but that's gonna be after this batch is delivered, and I could tell you the names that they're I can tell you when they were sent out. Yeah, actually no, there's certain things I can't show you. So your stuff, this last batch, which includes Yara, Muhammad, Bridget, Lewis, Darlin, Riley, Juan, Terry, Mihir, there's a lot of people there. that last batch was sent out on May 16th to them. You're reading out the names, and who the fuck is gonna know on a first name basis, bro? I'm not reading out names. Like, I just see the batch that went out, and it's submitted on the 16th. There's just nothing I can do but wait for them to process it. I haven't spoken to my connect, but he hasn't responded. I don't know what's going on, but their risk management department has told me that it's processing delays are because of the influx of people and the amount of changes that have to be made after it's been submitted. So many people are changing emails or have requested to change to a different name, or were banned. It's just a lot of stuff. Yeah, but all of your things were submitted. I can't do anything for the next batch until these are submitted. Everyone will get their accounts sooner or later. I wish this would have rolled out differently. I don't know what, like, sucks, because, you know, when it's dependent on you, you get shit done. When it's not dependent on you, you got to depend on others to get stuff done. It's not like I'm gonna let this go. No, I get your messages, and people, you know, my guys, my teams, they send me the messages that come from people, and then I see the tickets that you guys create on Discord. I really, truly am sorry for the delay. But I also have to stand behind the product and the signals and everything we've been delivering on it, above and beyond in terms of profits. Hey, can you guys do me a favor and spam the shit out of the W button? Just spam some dubs for that W that we got today, for the buys that we caught today. Very least we can do here. The Wix 9 stimmies are out in the mail. We got a W here. 45 pips. Spam some dubs for that. Come on, spam the W button. It helps me, it helps the channel. So I'd really like for your help. Oh, hold on, I gotta take this off top chat. I got it on live chat. Oh, I gotta put it on live. All right, spam them dubs, gang. Let's go. Spam the W's. I love it. Amazing. Spam the dubs, spam the dubs, spam the dubs. All right, we good. We good. Thank you. Thank you. What happened? It's raining? Uh-oh. Hold on. All right. Yeah, gang. Congrats to anyone that took that top look sell, by the way. Say solid area to sell. Just not gonna take it down the 4. Gang, yeah, I'm gonna call it a session here. Congrats to everybody that got a W with us. Thank you guys for coming through. If you want to be a part of the positions I'm gonna take outside of stream, get the bundle, and you'll have access to all those trades and the same profits that we make, right? Or an opportunity to make the same profits as me make. Yeah. Thank you, gang. It's crappy weather outside. I got some things I need to do. And enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Try to finish out the week. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow to try to finish out the week. But I think it's the last day of school for my kids. So, I mean, we should be getting back to normalcy. But, yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, last New York session. This was our last Asian session of the week. And next time I'll see you guys is on Sunday. I'm gonna see you guys on Sunday. The private gang, yeah, that's a private session. Sunday private session. You want to be a part of that? Get the bundle. You'll have access. Another reason to get the bundle. If not, I'll see everyone else here on Monday. All right. Zoom gang. See you on Discord. Mods, thank you for helping me run the stream. Chat, love and wisdom to you all. You want to say bye too? Go say bye. Wave. Can you have some candy too? Okay, I gotta go give out candy. Yep. All right, chat. As for me, my time here is up, and just like that, another Asian session is in the books. Have a good night, everybody. Stay hungry. Don't get greedy. Later.
Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.